then she started acting up, and I couldn't finish until. Well, I think I just ended up finishing it while she was acting up, and my food was all cold, and I didn't bother reheating it. So I'm getting used to cold food.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jonathan, and welcome back to Money Talks, where we want to offer you financial information and meet you where you are financially so that you can stick to your budget, manage to pay off your debt on your path to building wealth. Today, guys, I want to talk to you about hyperinflation. How do you manage your life with hyperinflation coming? If this is your first time joining me here on the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. So guys, from now you've seen the stock market at all-time highs. That's been consistent, at least for the past year. The housing market is a bubble just ready to burst. Short supply, large demand, everyone wants to buy, and builders not able to build more homes due to construction costs as well as materials and them getting materials due to still the challenges in the supply chain of moving material. But then also oil prices, which not mentioned as much, are beginning to rise. Close to, here in Charlotte, close to $3 a gallon for just unleaded. How does these things all coupled together start to really indicate what are we going to face in terms of inflation? Now, you know, guys, inflation is part of the rising cost of goods and services over time in the economy, the prices, how that affects. And you know, before COVID hit and we were in this great or healthy economy, unemployment was at naturally non-existent at a 4%, which typically means everyone who wants to get a job can get one. But even though everyone could get a job or was already fully employed or the economy was fully employed, that doesn't have the same indication or correlation to everyone was getting paid a fair wage. We've always struggled with the relationship between rising cost of things and rising wages. And this could be a huge breaking point for that should hyperinflation occur. So hyperinflation, typically normal inflation is about 3 to 4% in a year. Well, hyperinflation is when you start to have one big jump to about 10 to 14%, something of that nature in 1 year. And that's happened in our history before. And what happened during that time was the housing market kind of just froze. Interest rates were too high. People just didn't want to buy homes for the cost that they were going to pay to borrow the money. Well, now we're sitting in a situation where prices of home are high, interest rates are low. People are kind of getting back to work or pivoting or having new jobs. And then also all these other little accessory things we need in our lifestyle, those prices are starting to creep up. So it's not just the big things, it's everything else we're just paying more for. But you're paying more and your wages still haven't gone up. Now, the good thing is that more jobs being added to the economy. In the last month or two, over 900,000 new jobs have been added to the economy. And that's a strong indicator of the growth to move towards a more healthy economy. But that doesn't mean we're already there. We're still working through challenges with the vaccine. We're still working through challenges of getting things from an economical sense back to stabilization and normalcy. And as long as houses are not being new houses being created, there's not anyone for someone living in a house to go build one, and that doesn't free up that piece of real estate. The same kind of issue is happening with the car industry. There are not a lot of trade-ins. There are not a lot of cars being made. Therefore, the demand for cars did go up, but the prices of cars have been more expensive due to the fact that the supply is low and limited. Same thing if you went to try to do a rental car recently. Those prices have gone up because they're a direct relationship to the car industry. Rental cars get their cars from cars being made. They run them out for a good 2 years and then they flip them back as trade-ins, sell them off, things of that nature. So all these things start to rise. So if you're buying a home, you're not only paying a higher price for the house, likely people are paying $30,000, $40,000 over whatever the value is. So that's one huge cost. The next cost is moving expenses and all the things that go along with buying a new home, the accessory expenses, those things start to go up because, again, they match the demand of the main item. So how do you start to prepare? Well, I want you to take a step back and look at where your situation is right now. I want you to think about what changes have you seen? And if you've been tracking your expenses or at least looking at your budget monthly, you should see different costs rising or notice different changes of what you're paying. But maybe your lifestyle has changed. Maybe your kids are home. Maybe you are working from home, and so you're able to pivot a lot of those expenses so you're not incurring as much of a cost. But what would happen if we went up 10, 12%? What would that do to the lifestyle, or how would you prepare for that based off your expenses and where you are right now? That you would see a noticeable difference in your expenses and the outgoing and the cost for you to live. How can you start to prepare against that? Well, again, making sure you have the appropriate amount in your emergency fund after you look at your plan. The second thing is the emergency fund, making sure that's fully packed. 3 to 6 months, it's probably not going to cut it. 6 to 12 months, it's a little bit more healthier. But always look at your emergency fund and base it and evaluate it off how fast, based off your industry, would it be for you to get another job. That's going to be important. And then the last thing I want you to think, and always I want you to think, and most consistently what I've been telling you in each one of my videos, go and look at how you can earn more income. How can you maximize what you're getting? Are you getting paid fairly for the job that you're already doing? It's so important right now with all the movement in the economy. This is an extra special time for you to